Jeopardy fans have been left shocked after contestants missed an easy question about the Eagles. Jeopardy contestants were stumped by a question about the classic rock band on a recent episode of the game show on the May 30th episode of Jeopardy 1. Contestant chose the category The Band. Songs tell a story. He selected the $600 question, which Mayim Bialik read one of these nights. I'll tell you this band did pretty maze all in a row. But I can't tell you why. I can't tell you why is one of the Eagles' biggest hits, and the other two songs, and there were certainly hints too. After a short period, no one buzzed in to answer the question. A seemingly stunned Mayim looked at everyone and replied the Eagles the correct answer to the question. No, she asked quizzically before moving on. No one seemed to know the band songs in the group of contestants, which bothered music lovers to no end. Can't believe it. Twitter erupt. Didn't know those were Eagles songs. I can't believe nobody got that Eagles clue, wrote another fan. Mayim said the Eagles, but they are just Eagles, accused a third. They didn't know the Eagles, what wrote a fourth, especially since there were 3 song titles in there. Can you not? Meanwhile, co-host Ken Jennings shocked fans after he shared an NSFW joke on social media. On Tuesday, Ken 49 took to Twitter and shared a Garfield comic book strip that featured 3 images alongside the picture. Ken tweeted, "Happy 33rd anniversary of the Garfield strip, where John drinks dog scene." Some of his followers were shocked at the tweet, as one person replied, Ken, why man?" followed by laughing face emojis. A second person tweeted, "This is not a tweet I expected to see today." A third replied, "This can't be real," and a fourth admitted, "This was not how I expected to discover your Twitter account." Someone else fumed, "You just went down a notch in my opinion of you. Have a little class, man." Other Twitter users tried to make sense of the comic strip and argued over what it actually implied. One person shared a quote from cartoonist Jim Davis, who drew it. Ken replied to the tweet and said, "For the record, I totally buy Davis's farm buoy." Explanation: Ken's cheeky post came just 1 week after celebrated his 49th birthday on May 23rd. The former Jeopardy contestant is currently on a hiatus from hosting duties, and Mayim Bialik is filling in for him. However, not all viewers are impressed with seeing Mayim on their TV screens every day. The fact that Ken won't be on screen for almost the entire summer dawned on unsettled fans during last Thursday's episode with the actress. Mayim's mishap. It was Mayim's pauses in deeming contestant correct that is leaving fans annoyed as they took to Twitter to vent. One fan recently wrote, "I'm sure it's been said a tremendous amount of times, but if Mayim Bialik doesn't stop hesitating when answering the questions on Jeopardy, I'm going to stick my remote control right through my eye. If Meg took any longer to say yes, that's correct on Jeopardy, she'd be replying during Wheel of Fortune," wrote another. Without someone to really root for, and without Ken hosting either Masters or the regular show for the foreseeable future, the issue felt more glaring than ever. Another fan wrote to Twitter, "Well, it is a sad day that we won't be seeing Ken again until the last week of the 39th season, so most of which is going to be Mayim Bialik for almost the entire summer. But at least we're approaching Jeopardy's 40th season very soon, so that's good news." Another person wrote, "Watching Mayim versus Ken hosting Jeopardy is night and day." A third wrote, "At Jeopardy, I'm not looking to whine, but tonight's match is one of the slowest I've ever watched, and Mayim has to get quicker on her confirmations." And this week, fans spotted the worrisome setback with Mayim's hosting yet again and urged the show's producers to address it on Monday's episode. Mayim's hosting pace came to a head during 2 glaring instances. Nanin Morali, an education policy professional, face Travis Lee, a systems engineer, a technical writer who won and has amassed $15,700 during the double Jeopardy round. Travis selected the $200 clue. Mayim 47 read to protect an ancestral cemetery in 1910. Attorney Leah Contley became the 3rd woman and first Native American to argue a case here. That's correct, Travis responded. "What is the Supreme Court?" which was the intended response. However, Mayim didn't rule one way or the other for multiple seconds, to the extent that Travis nervously smirked and added, "of the United States." Mayim then hastily interjected during his addition, that's correct. Later on, under the category The Gulf of Mexico, Travis landed on what wound up being a crucial daily double clue. He wagered a sizable $6,000 in Mayim, read this 76,000 M. Peninsula juts up into the south end. Travis responded, "What is the Yucatan?" Mayim did not reply, although this was the correct response once more, so Travis added Peninsula, thinking again that more was needed for him to be correct. Mayim then finally ruled he was indeed correct. To begin with, many people expressed that if Mayim doesn't get fast enough at confirming contestants as correct or not, they could keep adding to their responses and go from correct to incorrect. In doing so, one Reddit user put it, "I'm not posting this to open up any my bashing, but do we know the reason why she pauses so long before confirming?" An answer is correct with both the Supreme Court and Yucatan responses. Today, the contestants started to add additional information because the pause was so long. I do worry this could lead someone to change to an incorrect response, though both answers today were still correct with the additional info. Another agreed it's not my EMB bashing at all to point out her pregnant pauses are confusing contestants, not to mention we viewers that was a hugely important daily double for Travis, and when she paused for 2 to 3 seconds you could see he was puzzled, thinking she needed more information. The studio lights glared down as the familiar melody of the Jeopardy theme echoed throughout the audience, signaling another exciting episode of America's favorite quiz show. Contestants stood poised behind their podiums, nervously adjusting their mix and glancing at the screens displaying the categories. Mayim Bialik, the beloved host, smiled warmly at the camera, ready to engage the audience with her intellect and charm. Yet no one could have anticipated the moment that would soon leave fans and viewers alike utterly gobsmacked. As the game commenced, the contestants mark a retired history teacher, Linda, a young software developer, and David, a college student, displayed a commendable knowledge of various topics. The first few rounds progressed without incident, with each contestant scoring points as they tackled categories like world capitals, famous scientists, and U.S. presidents. But the tension in the air shifted as the final category of the round appeared: iconic rock bands. Mark Buzz in first, eagerly selecting the $800 clue. This legendary British rock band, known for hits like Bohemian Rhapsody and We Will Rock You, formed in 1970.